This session will be recorded and put up on YouTube for people to look at in the future. But again, let me welcome you to Northeastern District's online Leadership Academy, OLA. The first time we've ever done anything like this in Northeastern District, and there are a number of other districts that have used recorded sessions, but I think we may be the first district to do a full-scale Leadership Academy. And I want to thank Ellen Lampson, who is a great help in helping me get this thing going. I also want to thank your district treasurer, John Englander, who did everything to get everything working on Eventbrite, our Eventbrite guru, and our district VP of Marketing and Public Relations and Jive Talk, Steve Salomon, who put together the promotional information and a big help in getting the district website all set up. So it's been quite exciting. We have 8 classes coming up in the next number of weeks. This is phase 1. Phase 2 will start in October. That will be for chapter presidents, secretaries, treasurers, board members, and other chapter leaders. So we have a lot going on. We'd appreciate if you would remain muted. Okay, hold on a minute. We still have people coming in. I guess that's inevitable. So stay muted if you don't mind. If you have a question, put it in chat. Katie will respond to your questions as we go along, and then toward the end, if there are any other questions, we'll take care of that. But she will respond to questions. If they're in the chat, she'll be monitoring that during her presentation. So I think we're ready to go. We have most everyone here, not quite everyone. I want to introduce to you Katie MacDonald with a small d, just to distinguish herself and make herself even more unique. But she's a delightful person, sings bass in GQ, Sweet Adeline Champion Quartet, and she's a delight and a society employee. So I want to give a little bit of no, I'll talk about that later. Anyway, so let's hear it for Katie, and Katie, it's all yours.
Woo! Yay! Hi, everybody. Oh my gosh, it's so cool to actually see people. Because for HU, we did all webinars, so I didn't get to see anybody, but it's kind of nice to be able to flip through and see all y'all. So yay. Well, guys, thank you so much for being here. I'm so honored. First of all, this is a ton of people, and I'm flabbergasted that y'all want to come hang out with me and learn about recruitment and retention. And basically, we're going to have a lot of fun tonight because we're going to actually all talk. All right. I'm serious. I'll go over it in a sec. So let me just get started with everybody. So hello, I work for BHS. I'm the Recruitment and Retention Manager, and I get to talk about barbershop for a living. So I have the best job in the world. All right. That's me at Harmony Hall. I'm so happy, and it's the only selfie I took last year. So that's me, and I'm very happy. Over here is my quartet, GQ. We are third place Sweet Ads. We're not champs, sorry. We are third place Sweet Adelines. And we are also a BHS quartet as well. So as soon as we were able to become one, we became a BHS quartet because it just fit with us because we've been so involved with BHS for our whole career.
Sorry, I guess I was thinking of Rising Star when I said.
That's true. I did forget that. We did do that a billion years ago. But yeah, and our parents think we're champs, so it's cool. It's fun. So I also am in Parkside Melody, which is the companion chorus to Parkside Harmony, which you guys are probably more familiar with. They've been around a whopping 5 years or 4 years longer than us. So Parkside Melody is, we compete in the women's division of BHS, and we're at 17 members right now, and we are very much growing, and I'm going to be definitely telling you that whole story, and we're doing a lot of virtual rehearsals right now, and it's like the meetings I look forward to every week with me and the music team to figure out what we're going to do. So I'll definitely be going into a lot of that, and like I said, Parkside Harmony is our companion chorus. And we got Sean Devine running it, and Jay Butterfield, and Vince Sandroni is the assistant music director as well. So just a lot of wonderful humans in Mid-Atlantic. I love NED as well, but Mid-Atlantic, yeah. What up? Okay, sorry. All right, so what is this class? All right, pretty obviously, I am going to be talking about virtual recruitment and retention tips because, you know, where we are. But really, all of this does translate to live as well. Like, if you really think about it, it's all the same stuff. So it'll apply, you know, even in however long until we go back to normal. And then the rules are really, please use the chat. Please use the chat and make jokes, ask questions, react to things, agree with people. If you have an awesome idea, like in addition to whatever I'm talking about, throw it in there, because the best thing that we can do as barbershoppers is like spread all of our knowledge so that all of us barbershoppers are like, oh, that's a really awesome idea. I didn't think of doing that. Oh my God, yep. So please do that. And also, just an FYI, you don't have to take any notes. I'm going to be sending this out to all y'all, this whole presentation, which has links to some things that, as well. Like, I'm going to send it all out to you so you've got it. So don't worry, just sit back and relax and watch me be a weirdo. So, all right, here we go. So this is your first participation stuff. Everybody, please answer into the chat. Whose job is it to recruit new members? Everyone. Yes, everyone. I'm liking that. All right. Anyone have an answer other than everyone? Agreed. Yes. Mine. Sevi. All right. Yep. Sure. Okay. Good. Everyone. You guys are so smart. I'm very proud. You know what the answer is? Everyone. The entire chorus, not just your membership VP, and not just Sevi. So everybody, it is literally everyone's job to ask their friends, you know, hey, what's going on? Come and hang out. All right. So like I said, we're talking to everybody now. So really the first thing that you're thinking in your head is you're trying to find the singers that are going to come to your virtual rehearsal. So the people you can consider, friends and family, previous members of your chapter, do not forget those humans, and any patrons that may have been like too shy to do this before, because guess what? We're virtual now. They don't have to, no one hears them. No one's going to hear them. A little sad, but also if somebody's a little nervous to try singing, this environment is actually pretty wonderful. So, and also one thing to consider, and do not take, don't take this lightly. Everybody's lives are different since COVID. Everybody's life changed in some way. So you really don't know. If you already asked Bob, like, hey, come on over, you know, to our in-person rehearsal, and he said no, but now he's bored and he's dying for some human interaction, that's great. Invite him, you know, and just try again. There's no harm. It's a different product. You know, you're literally selling a different product. And then the other thing to consider, if this is somebody who's brand new and just hasn't been a barbershop before, is, are they a barbershopper? Because let's be honest, are we weird? Actually, go ahead and answer in the chat. Are barbershoppers weird? Yay, yay. Yes, the best ones are. Yep. No. Okay. Well, good job. I would say probs. I would say very much yes. We're a little weird, and this is a hobby that you kind of gotta like, the best kind of weird, yes. This is kind of the hobby that you have to give a little preface and like show it off a little bit. So let's see, the biggest thing, so really, if they don't know what barbershop is, you gotta show them. So you guys should be taking, go to YouTube, get on BHS's YouTube, Sweet Ads, and Harmony Inc.'s YouTube, and you have to show them who, like, just any barbershop. And the biggest thing that I want to reflect too is that you have to show them quartets or choruses. In my opinion, I think you should show them people that look like them, especially to somebody who's young or someone who might be in a marginalized group. And then they see somebody who doesn't look like them singing, they may not feel comfortable because they're like, no one looks like me. So this is really something to consider. If you're, working with a bunch of young women, you should show them probably GQ, class ring, love notes. If you're working with young guys, show them Newfangled 4, things like that. You kind of got to consider who you're working with, just so that they see themselves, oh, I could do that because I see people doing it that are like me. So if you had to pick though, like an overall video of just like your favorite representation of barbershop, please everyone right now say in the chat, what is your go-to video to introduce someone to barbershop? And you can just say the song and I don't know, ensemble name, quartet or chorus, whatever it is. Yep, Crossroads. Yep. Yes. GQ anything. Thanks, Ashley. So basically what you're doing is the reason why I'm having you all say this here is so everybody can see who the big ones are to show off to other people too. Signature, also in that representation category. If you have young people of color who are barbershop, all these people don't look like me, show them signature, show them show them forefront, show them quintones, it's very important to show people that look like you, and really just reminding everybody that this is that everybody gets to see how excellent barbershop is as soon as that happens. And just thank goodness for our amazing YouTube channels. I think on the BHS site, there's over 5,000 videos. What? So it's insane. But yes, love all these ideas. Yes, instant classic. Oh my God. Frenzy, yes. Frenzy was the quartet that I learned. I was like, oh my gosh, this is funny. This is actually funny. Okay, so next, once you've, figured out, that this person is coming, or you've kind of thought about who you're going to bring, what you really want to do is make sure you're represented really well online, right? Because I don't know about y'all, but I am on Facebook a lot more often now. And really, you should be ramping up your social media. So your chapters, Facebook, I think Facebook is the most important. If I had to guess, a lot of barbershoppers are on Facebook in particular. Share stuff. Oh my gosh, share other choruses, especially within NED. Share other choruses projects. It shows how much you love each other and how much you appreciate each other. And anytime anyone does a virtual choir or whatever, share anything. BHS will always have stuff to share. I know that for sure. And I know Sweet Ads and Harmony does as well. So please just literally make your social media page very active. You can also stream a virtual rehearsal via Zoom to Facebook. The how-to is, I'm sure there's a Zoom tutorial of how to do it. I'm pretty sure it's literally a button that just says live to Facebook. It's bonkers. Ambassadors of Harmony's been doing that recently. Oh my gosh, so cool. I love watching that. I got so many ideas from them. So, and then, you could share HU warm-up videos, showing just excellent singing right off the bat. That's pretty amazing. Really just what you're doing is you got to show off an excellent virtual rehearsal experience. Even if it's just a screenshot of your entire chorus on Zoom holding up a beverage, an adult beverage, or whatever beverage, just showing that, hey, after we sing, we have a lot of fun together, So you're basically explaining to the world on this free market of Facebook, because that's free, we have a lot of fun. We provide connection. We make everybody feel good. That's really, really cool. So it's just that Facebook is very powerful. Okay, and now we're gonna talk about a great virtual rehearsal. But I know what a lot of you are thinking. You're like, well, Katie Mac, I didn't sign up for how to make a great virtual rehearsal. I know, but it's okay. Because we're really gonna talk about that, because honestly, you got to have a product for people to come to, right? So we're going to talk a little bit about it, and this is where I want a lot of ideas come in. There'll be a time for that, but I want everybody to be thinking about what you guys already do, what you would like to be doing, because that's what we're going to talk about. So What is one aspect of your virtual rehearsal that you love? And if you are unfortunately not doing a virtual rehearsal, what is something that you know you would want to do? Yes, Beverly, PBIs. Start with a dance party. Oh, that's fantastic. Start with a dance party. Create a Zoom interview with a music educator that you helped send to HU. Heck yes. Seeing everybody, yes. Member interviews, breakout sessions, seeing everyone singing. Pre-exercise chat, yes. Tag team quartet, I love that. Spend 10 minutes checking up with each other. See other members of the chorus. Talent session break. Gold medal moments, analyze other groups, yes. Seeing everyone and sharing stories and sing. Oh, I love this. Studying theory and overtone production, rehearsing for virtual recording. Smart, yes. We watch different arrangements of the same song and discuss what we like and don't like. That's cool. Yeah. So what I think is super interesting, I feel like a lot of these ideas go into different buckets of like the actual music, the music rehearsal, kind of like a social thing where everybody's just catching up, or a dance break, or fun stuff. And then there's also an education component too. So my friends, if you kind of think of those three big categories of music, education, and social, you can program for a virtual environment for literally ever, because there is an endless amount of resources, and that's what we're going to talk about next. So a great virtual rehearsal on the music side, here's some of the things that Parkside Melody does that I promise will work everywhere. So here we go. So first, low volume music playing when everyone enters, which is what I did with the Lemon Squeezy song. I know that it may seem like an extra step, but how many of you have gone on to a Zoom call and it's been this awkward silence and the leader's kind of like, hey, how are you, one person? And then everyone else is just like, I'm bored. But if you put on a song, especially a barbershop song or anything that everyone's gonna love, oh my gosh, it just literally brightens the mood entirely, and people are just in such a better place. Start with music. So easy. Established warm-ups. So kind of this is in effect to mock or mimic or mirror an actual rehearsal, because what we don't want to do is be in this quarantine and we don't actually, like, we haven't sung anything and then our voices are tired, you know, the first time we get back. So what we really want to do is do an actual legitimate warm-up. How those warm-ups look is literally kind of the same exact thing as in person, but really the biggest thing I would recommend is get your members standing, seriously. It's just, we all do this all day, right? We sit in Zoom, we sit in meetings, we either for work or family meetings or whatever, and it's pretty much sitting. But if you can get people to get moving, I promise it's gonna lighten everything. Make your time frames really, really, really short for every task that you're doing, because I don't know about y'all, I'm 100% extrovert. I love to be around people, but even I get Zoom fatigued. I get over Zoom kind of fast. So I personally need to jump around. That's why I was like, you guys got to talk in the chat or I'm going to be so bored. So basically the having short time frames where you bounce around is really going to keep people's interest much better. Variety. If I could seriously, again, jump around, have a little bit of everything, I again, keeps interest much better. The voice recording and where you record yourself and listen back, what that would be is your members are literally singing along to the recording that they hear through the director's Zoom channel, but then they're literally singing into their phones, into the voice memo feature or whatever your phone has, and then they have to listen back to it. Oh, is it eye-opening and really cool, really good growth and wonderful exercise, because people were like, oh, wow, that's what I sound like. Okay, I should sing more. So that's super fun. Spotlighting is a feature that the director can basically take that's literally just called Spotlight. You just click on people randomly when you're performing a song and maybe doing a little emoting, you're standing and running a rep song or something. And the director literally just highlights people. You just hit like Katie MacDonald spotlight, and then my picture would get really big and everyone sees me jamming out to whatever song. So that's really fun to kind of like, you know, it brings you closer together with each other. It feels, it's like you're in the room. Popcorn singing is where you can kind of break into these little tiny breakout rooms, and maybe like 4, I would say no more than 4 people. And each person is assigned a line, and they'll actually sing those lines. So it'll be like, some like the high road, I like the low road, free from the grief and strife. Next person, sounds corny and seedy, but yeah. And you're like, oh, I just heard Jill sing. I just heard Dana sing. And everybody just freaks out because everyone's literally just so happy. Bev, is spotlight only video, not audio? Yeah, for the most part, it's just video because typically you'd be singing along muted. So it's really just more for the visual presentation of it all. Let's see, sing along with a section leader is kind of almost feels like a no-brainer in a way, but it's just, no offense to our wonderful, wonderful track makers in our industry, but singing along to an actual human where has really been beneficial. So really the section leaders or anybody else who's willing, that way, you know, people are duetting with me instead of Aaron Dale's bass track, you know, so that it's better. And then watch or critique performance videos, whether that's of yourselves or other choruses that are similar to you, or just any chorus, like really just as a learning exercise. That could be on under the education piece. And really, guys, just stand. Oh my gosh, any moment you can get people standing. Visual plan rollout is something else that Parkside Melody does. The person who's big in that photo right there, that's Kayla. She's our visual coordinator, and she literally rolled out an entire visual plan of a song completely virtually. And it was amazing. It was so great because everybody had to watch her. Everybody was quiet. Oh, imagine that. So yeah, it was super nice. So I love that. Love that, but just a visual part. So that was the music. This is like the education or the social side of everything. So on the education side, you could do a little session called Chapter Beginnings, Director Interviews a Founding Member. I think somebody even mentioned that as one of their cool ideas. That is so cool for chorus culture, as well as just like teaching about the history of your chapter, especially if you're in a chapter that's been around longer. That gets really interesting and really cool, especially for the younger and newer members. You know, a lot of stuff they won't know, which is really neat. Contest and judging presentations, I would say that is call up all of our judges friends who aren't doing anything either and ask if they'll give a presentation on the singing category or the music or the showmanship or the expression, whatever it is, whatever you're in, you know, just have them explain it, give examples, maybe do a mini version of like scoring the song. Just awesome to do that. Reach out to your heroes as guest speakers. Oh gosh. Last week, the whole Parkside Harmony and Melody, we listened to Justin Miller talk, and all of us were just like, oh my gosh, he's a literal God. Oh, he's amazing. So reach out to them. I know everybody is more than happy to pop on and hang out. So just ask, seriously. You know, they may say no, but that's fine. History of barbershop, absolutely important, especially nowadays with everything going on with the Black Lives Matter movement. It is very important for us to understand where this came from. So that's the link there to all the resources to learn about like red caps and everything, and our history and where we are today. So very, very important. And then of course, HU online classes. This isn't even virtual HU. This is like what we had before. I mean, even that was incredible. And then of course, all the stuff from HU online is, some of it will be up as well, or sorry, virtual HU. I'm not sure of the timeline yet. We're working on it, but that'll also be online for you guys to share classes like this one. Oh, hey. How short, Jeffrey asked, how short are short time frames? Okay. My thought, and it may differ for people's courses, but my thought is really I wouldn't have a sectional more than 20 minutes personally. So really no event over 20 minutes. I just think everyone's gonna totally, like totally go out. Could the society do something about Black Lives Matter and the regrettable history of VHS? Thanks, Arthur. I mean, yes, there is a lot going on with the Red Caps presentation from 2017. And we're constantly working on inclusion stuff. And actually there will be something coming out about that. It's not fully developed yet, but it's coming. So yeah, so on the social side of everything, Zoom glows are literally, you know, y'all know what an afterglow is. The same thing on Zoom. That's where I was talking about an adult beverage. Everybody can just grab a drink, a snack, a pet, a whatever, and everyone just hangs out after rehearsal. So needed. Yes, people do them. They're the absolute best. It's that, like, honestly, if y'all saw, for the most part, when I said, what is your favorite thing about a virtual rehearsal? For the most part, y'all said a social thing. So remember that. Remember that that's just as important as the music, because, you know, that's why we do this. We call this, in Parkside, we call it wines and wins. And that is literally what it sounds like. A wine is, you know, members will share, you know, maybe something that they're struggling with or they're a little worried about or upset about. And it's something to, you know, help get positive vibes from the chorus. And wins is like, you're telling everybody, I bought a house or whatever, you know. It's just a time for everybody to share kind of what's going on in their life, which is really beautiful and good getting to know you stuff. Breakout rooms, random breakout rooms with discussion prompts, also so much fun. It's especially great for people to start to get to know each other that didn't before. Just absolutely awesome. Like for instance, we said, like, what are the lyrics of They Just Keep Moving the Line mean to you, which is our next song that we're about to learn. And we like provided the lyrics ahead of time, and we asked everybody to just kind of talk about it, you know? So, and talk about the meaning. And that was just 10 minutes. And I absolutely loved it. Barbershop trivia or chapter trivia, you can kind of make a game out of it and host it and, you know, have a bunch of doofy prizes, you know, whatever. It doesn't have to cost any money at all. Or then you could do the Legacy Quartet Championship or any other video cast, which is the VHS International Contest coming up. You could do that as a watch party. And boy, is that easy, because everyone else did the programming and everybody can just get on Zoom, watch it together, and then chat it up. Like, you know, like, yeah, BSQ, woo, or yay, Riptide, woo, you know, like everybody can just be happy together and be socializing at the event, at the event. Okay, and then the greatest thing that BHS has done, and this is for any BHS chapter, you can do a virtual chapter visit. So basically, and this list of people is actually going to expand in the next few days, I think. It's going to expand by a lot, and you can actually get a BHS staffer to come to your chapter for a 30-ish minute talk about the topic that they're an expert on. I'm actually, so like, for instance, I typically go and I talk about recruitment and retention with my chapters, but I am also going to add my secondary topic to be virtual chapter rehearsal ideas, literally just brainstorming cool ideas. Yes, several visits. That makes me so happy that y'all have already taken advantage of this. Please continue, because it is free. Like, the deal is like, we would have done this if we had all the money in the world and like sent people out to every chapter everywhere, but that part's been hard. So we would have never asked for COVID. Nobody would have asked for COVID, but this is one of the beautiful things that people are able to now do. We're able to expand our knowledge and teach in so many ways we didn't think were possible. So all the information's there about how you do it. You email chapters@barbershop.org. My buddy Nate, his little bow tie down there, he's gonna help you and sign it up, and it's just the best. And yes, Don, these are virtual. How about the chapters who are not Zooming? They will have to Zoom. There's really no other answer to that. They will have to either join, they will have to create a Zoom meeting for their chapter, or join another chapter's meeting. I know that a lot of chapters too have, maybe for some that have like fellow chapters that aren't meeting virtually, they will invite people to their meeting because Zoom links are very easy to just email out, you know? So that's definitely worth it. I would say maybe combine, like, let's say chapter A is like, we're gonna have Joe Cerruti come and talk about virtual rehearsal ideas, yay. Anybody wanna come? And literally get the Zoom link. Because we, as the BHS staffers, we don't care how many people are there, you know? We're just excited, so we'll talk to anybody. Yeah, so our availability, since all of our availability has been changing so much, Jeff, with like virtual HU, we're not able to give like an exact, like Katie Mack is only available on Thursdays. That's impossible. So Nate does his best to kind of chat with us and figure all that out. So Nate will coordinate it all. He's amazing. And yeah, does BHS have a list of all the chapters and their Zoom contacts in case you want to go and visit? We don't understand the question, Don. I'm sorry. It's a list of all chapters and their Zoom contacts. I don't know what a Zoom contact is. We have everybody's email, but that would be, I don't think we would be like, hey, chapter X, come to chapter Y's meeting. We wouldn't necessarily like facilitate that. You guys are welcome to though. So on the music planning side, basically I just wanted to give a shout out to my Parkside Melody music team. We got Maddie, Kayla, and Marion in there. They're wonderful. And I just wanted to let you guys know, we meet every week before rehearsal for an hour to plan the rehearsal. It's just really, really something that is important to us to make sure that our guests and our members are really like loving what we're doing. So I visited a Sirens of Gotham rehearsal a month or so ago. And I asked them like, hey, what do you guys do to welcome guests? And what do you do? How are you surviving this virtual world? Lizzie told me that Lizzie gave me the idea of those breakout rooms, those 10-minute breakout rooms where they're random. So guests and members alike are in those rooms. And this is my favorite question. How did you incorporate music into your life this past week? I love that question because it's so simple and it's so different for everybody. Like I listened to the Beatles in my car while going before I went grocery shopping, you know, and it's going to be different for everyone else. And it's so interesting. You learn so much about people. And then up here, Haley's talking about basically if you are running out of virtual programming, just ask. There's a million people here to help you to, you know, get on your feet and try out a virtual program. So ask BHS, ask everybody around you in all your chapters within your district. There's a ton of ways to do it. So now let's back up a little bit to where we were talking about who are the people you are going to ask to come to your virtual rehearsal. Now that we know that your virtual rehearsals are amazing, and you know, if you guys aren't in musical leadership, you're telling all your musical leaders all these amazing ideas. And now you've got to invite your friends to come, right? So the ask has got to include a couple things: a kind greeting. You're inviting them to a virtual rehearsal. So you're really making it clear, this is a singing, yes, we are singing, but it is virtual, it's on Zoom. You know, you want to kind of make that clear because they might be like, ooh, nope, not meeting in person. And then always give a date and time and make it a real event in their brain. Make it think like, oh, Monday, okay, Monday at 7, I gotta write that down. You know, you want to make it real, not just like, do you want to come by sometime? And guess what, I've already forgotten, you know? So make it real. And then of course you want to ask on the outlet that person would appreciate most. So you gotta know your friend. Does your friend like to have a phone call? Do they like an email? Do they like a text? What is the thing? What is the form of communication that they like? So here are 2 examples. You can literally copy and paste these. Hi, friend. My barbershop chorus meets on Zoom every Monday at 7 p.m. And it's really fun. We actually sing on mute and then we hang out afterwards. Would you want to come? I personally, as a millennial, I would Facebook message that to somebody, which I did many a time. And then, hi, other friend. I know it's, how have you been since the world turned upside down? Parkside Melody misses you. Would you want to come back and check out our virtual rehearsal on Monday at 7? So basically, you know, reaching back out to the people you that were once in your chapter, inviting them to the place and time, to the virtual event, all good stuff. So yay. And woohoo, they said, yes, you're so happy. Now what do you do? So the best advice I can give here is really just go ahead and send your membership VP, membership human, whoever that is, the guest's name, email, voice part, because that's, you know, do they know it? Are they a barbershopper? Do we know what their voice part is? That's something we got to consider. If they're a barbershopper or not, honestly, so that membership VP can either help them through what their voice part will be, or whatever. Like if your course kind of is like, if you don't know, if you're new to barbershop, sing lead kind of concept, it's totally up to y'all. Their hometown, I know that may sound a little weird, like why would you need to know that? But you may want to kind of, it's going to help the membership VP keep track of who they're managing, because now that it's not that these guests just show up on Monday night, they literally can't do that. That membership VP has to email a Zoom link. So if it's like my friend Courtney out in Los Angeles wants to come to Parkside Melody just to visit because she loves barbershop and, you know, she wants to see us, it's really helpful for the membership VP to know she lives in Los Angeles. Like she's just visiting, you know, just visiting like once or twice. So that hometown part is very important. You will, Judy and Nick, you will be getting a copy of this PowerPoint. So don't worry, you don't have to take notes. And then any other past singing experience, whether they're in another chorus, a barbershop chorus, or a church group, or a theater, or if they just did it in college or high school, whatever, or nothing. It's fine, because that's what barbershop's about, right? We're not professionals at all. And so that's what your membership VP should do. You should be the one that's just like, can't wait to see you. Oh my God, I'm so excited. All right, are you ready for Monday? Do you have everything? You know, oh, and Joe's gonna be there too. I know you miss him too. So that's gonna be super. You're basically reminding them like, hey, I remember that you're coming and I can't wait to see you on the rehearsal. It's those like little extra steps that make people feel special. So you always wanna make people feel special, because people may not remember what they did with you, but they will remember how you made them feel, truly. So I know I just talked a lot about making a really, really great virtual rehearsal, but really, as long as they feel safe, capable, at ease, successful, surrounded by awesome people, and free, they're gonna come away with a really great experience. So remember just to be nice. Like, if you're a nice person, this is probably gonna be really easy. And if you're just thankful and happy and just you wanna share this art form with people, it's going to come off great. Jeffrey asks, how do we reach beyond our circle of friends, i.e. we're an older chorus, all of our friends are old in caps, but we want younger members. None have sons or nephews interested. Okay, well, I would suggest if you're looking for I would ask why you're looking for specifically younger members. If they are somebody that's in your friend group, awesome. You know, there are options of trying to recruit at the school level, but that's kind of impossible at the moment with COVID, and you know, music teachers are trying to figure out their programming as well. But you're really looking for, like, you also have to think like, will those young people feel comfortable at a rehearsal with us? You know, you kind of want to see, you kind of want to ask yourselves like, well, who are we? Like, and I always say like attracts like if it's not working with a bunch of younger people, maybe ask other people, you know, other friends that you might have. There isn't any like certain like rubric of, in order to get a young person to join, this is what you do. It really is all, do they want to be there? Do they want to join this? Is this the product that they want? That's always something that has to be considered, because what you put out is the product that you're selling to people, and if they like it, they're going to join. So you have to kind of take it off of that. You know, you gotta think, what are we providing for people? And this is just my favorite Freddie King quote ever. They come for the music, but stay for the fellowship. And that's, in my opinion, why barbershop choruses are going to succeed through this pandemic more than probably any chorus ever, because since we have the social aspect, like we're all friends already, you know, we're already all friends. And that means that we're gonna want to see each other. So that means we have no other choice, but we're gonna get on Zoom and hang out with each other. And that's just super, super important. So love that. All right, so a couple of ways that you can make your guests feel comfortable as well. Ahead of time, either you or the membership VP could also kind of show them what a virtual rehearsal is gonna look like, especially if they're a new barbershopper and haven't done this yet. So you can show them like, hey, you can put your computer, you can, by some wizardry, you can project your computer on your TV, or it's just going to be, I just have it, my desktop right here, kind of show them what it's going to look like. And then my favorite thing that Parkside Melody, or all of Parkside does, is I rename myself in Zoom to be voice part and my name. So that is super great for guests, because they're going to kind of look around the room and be like, okay, well, I'm a bass. Who else is a bass? Oh, Katie MacDonald. Okay. So Kate MacDonald and I are going to be in the same section. Cool. So like in a weird subliminal way, they're already making friends. And like, but you know, because like there's not too much actual interaction over Zoom because we're not physically there and one person can be talking at a time. So any visual component that you can bring in that, you know, like for instance, I will always wear a barbershop shirt for any of my rehearsals with Parkside, or a Parkside shirt. So like, it's already like I'm showing off what I love, you know? So you gotta like kind of key into those visual components. So for your membership VP, tracking everybody, I will provide this as a template. So again, don't have to take notes, but this is kind of what I use as a template for tracking all of our guests. So we have, you know, basically all that info that I asked for before, their name, and then I'm going to just skip this for a second. Email, who referred them, because that's also really important. Like, oh, that's Jen's friend, you know, like that's important for the membership VP to know what their voice part is, their music experience, their hometown, and if they're a barbershop or not. This is just a really easy way for us to just click, 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 and we've got all their attendance there for the rehearsal date. And then over here in the green is a section for tracking the follow-up stuff with the membership VP, like making sure that they sent the agenda email with the Zoom link to all the guests. Did they send a thank you email? Because thank you emails, oof, I should have done a slide of a thank you email. Membership VPs, if you are not doing a thank you email to your guests, do that immediately, because apparently it's not done a lot. And a lot of people notice it, like just a quick little, like, thanks so much for coming. We so enjoyed having you. Would you like to come to the next one? It is at Monday, the 24th at 7, you know, like always thank people, because it was a big deal for them to like get off of Netflix and come on, you know? So thank them. Maybe if there's like a next steps option, or if the director wants to reach out and specifically thank that guest for either just to be kind or develop that relationship so that that guest kind of feels even more welcome, super great. And then if they're interested in auditioning, send them to the audition coordinator and your process for a virtual audition. Not going to get into those necessarily, but I'm happy to talk virtual auditions as well afterwards. So now we're going to go back to this section B, guest, permaguest, and shadow. So guest, that's defined as the person who it just is showing up for the first time kind of thing. They are local, likely that they'll join if they want to. Yay. A permaguest is somebody who has come to like 4 rehearsals, 4 virtual rehearsals, and you're like, hey, we need you to audition and like be a member. We can't have you taking advantage of our resources any longer. So you gotta like kind of create a plan with your team about that. And then a shadow, that would be like my friend Courtney from Los Angeles. She's not going to join because she lives in Los Angeles and we're in Hershey, Pennsylvania. So that's what we would call a shadow, just somebody who's dropping in and visiting, because that's pretty common now. A lot of people are just popping in and seeing what's up. But this way, the membership VP has everyone's name and everyone's email and can easily email that Zoom link out to everybody. It's great. So, yippee! So that's that. And again, you'll have that template membership VP, so you can totally steal it. And basically for the membership VP's role for guests, you are managing that tracker and you're going to be the guest contact for the agenda emails and any questions that they have. And you're going to send the thank you email, right? Yes, yes, you will, because they're going to love it and they're going to be so thankful. And then the retention of current members on the membership VP side is basically making sure that your members are current in their renewal, because it's very easy to forget or miss it with the mailing system and everything. It's just, oh, and on top of that, a pandemic. So really just making sure that everybody's renewals are up to date and continue to announce renewals and person of note awards in a virtual rehearsal, just like you would do in a regular chapter meeting. And if you weren't doing that in a chapter meeting, add that. From making your members feel special about how long they've been in the society and how many persons of note awards they have. First of all, that's just incredible accomplishments to begin with. Absolutely should be recognized and praised and just celebrated among everybody. Then I would call this person, this is me in my chorus. I'm the social leader or the hype person that's like, I introduce the guests. I'm the person who maybe invites those guests to the afterglow afterwards and really just gets them involved with everything. And then basically I love to show guests that I care about every member by checking up with each member. Like, hey, friend, how's everything going? How's everything on your new house? Like, so that way the guest is like, oh, wow. Like if I join this, like I get to, I like, am going to join the family. And that's really cool because these people care about each other. Like that's really great, especially when there's a huge feeling of isolation everywhere. Don asks, involve PON to help present a new member certificate. Yeah, we do in Parkside, we do that. We say like, if we're introducing a new member and we say, and their person of note is, and we also of course make it a huge deal if it's a fellow Parksider. So absolutely do that. In our Parkside rehearsal the other day, Justin Miller said, any role that you have within the organization, make sure you're doing it to the best of your ability because other people are depending on it. And it creates a culture of excellence. I love that quote so much. It's basically just reminding people to take ownership of what they do. And, we are all volunteers here. We don't get, for what we do with our chapters, we don't get paid for the most part. And like, people are really, really, really depending on your work. So no matter what, remember that everybody's depending on it and do it to the best of your ability. And if you need help, reach out to your leadership. Alrighty, so if you're thinking about retaining your current members and you're kind of thinking like, well, attendance is suffering, I think you should absolutely reach out and ask why your people aren't coming. Maybe they have severe Zoom fatigue, or they don't like the virtual setting at all, or they can't afford to be a member anymore. Just all these kind of like very, everybody's lives has changed, remember. So we do have to check in with all of our friends all the time, really. I do that. I literally ask all of my members like every couple of weeks, just check in and be like, hey, I miss you. But a lot of chapters have actually in the virtual world, because it is like harder to program because, there's a lot going on. A lot of chapters are going to every other week. You're welcome to do that. And that should be decided by your leadership, but you really just got to ask people why they're not coming, because otherwise how are you going to know? One way to do that is a pulse check form. Parkside Melody, we actually developed this from Sirens of Gotham and Voices of Gotham. I love them so much. We literally ask people like, what did you think of rehearsal? What did you like about rehearsal? What did you not like about rehearsal? We've had amazing feedback. It's been like so good. And it's steered the direction of how we program our rehearsals, you know, because our members are saying they love popcorn singing. Cool, we're going to do that all the time, you know, like, or they love the breakout rooms with the talking. So that's really, really awesome. Joel's asking, what about adding other virtual platforms? Joel, if you're talking about other than Zoom or like Google Meets or something like that, I'm just not as familiar with those, if that's what you were referring to. Several of our members are not on internet and or don't know how to use it. Well, in the virtual world, if you're not on the internet, maybe a more tech savvy member can call that person up on the landline and kind of walk them through setting up an internet process, because what I found with Zoom is it is extremely easy once people learn it like 2 or 3 times. And once they know it, they know it. They know to click on that link and they will be in the meeting, you know? And then if they know how to press mute, they're pretty much good. That's all you need to do as a chorus member for the most part, right? The chorus leadership are the ones that are putting people into breakout rooms. Ashley's asking, how do you handle members not coming because they are frontline workers and they are just emotionally and physically done or working during rehearsals? Oh, yeah. So in Parkside Melody, we have one of our members is a COVID nurse. And while she tries to take off for our rehearsals, it doesn't always happen, or she literally just can't. And the biggest thing to say with your current members, if they are just exhausted from dealing with life first, that deserves the most amount of grace ever. Because right now, since this is a very trying and emotional time, especially our front 5 members in that position, Ashley, that's incredible. Well, what I would say to that too is there's probably something really cool that you could do as a chorus to help support those 5 members. So maybe it's recording the Zoom rehearsals and sending it to those 5 members and just say, we miss you, we appreciate you, we love you so much, we're so proud of everything you're doing to help save lives. Like anything that can remind them that they are loved and they are appreciated. Oh my gosh. And probably there's gotta be more that you can do with that. Like you can get creative and like a video. I don't know, you could literally make people just record a 5-second selfie video of like, hey, name, oh my gosh, you're the best. And I'm so happy to know you. And I hope you're doing great. Like that's it. 5 seconds and somebody can edit it together in iMovie. Just that is, gosh, supporting our, like, again, that is why we came to a barbershop chorus, right? We came for the social side and loving on our buddies. So I love that. Yeah, guys, do that with your members. Like check up and not even just people in leadership. We actually, in the Parkside culture, it is known that you check up on everybody. So that should be from everybody from the top down. Just hey, miss you. How you doing? Like, again, use the outlet that they like. I'm a millennial. Text me first, then call me, you know? For maybe somebody of the older generation, regular old phone call is awesome. Or an email, you know, just whatever they like, do it that way. Jeffrey's asking, do we really think that for folks coming during this pandemic that after 4 visits, we should ask them to pay? Tough call. Well, in my opinion, yes, because you are offering a service and now there are a couple of things coming down. I can't say what it is because it's not announced yet, but there are some things coming where it's not necessarily going to be the full price. Please no one talk about that. But it's basically, you know, at the chapter level, you guys are welcome to cut chapter dues or district dues. That's decided by the district, decided by the chapter. But as that, you can absolutely do. Oh yeah, Ashley saying we cut our dues in half. That's awesome. So considering anything that you can control, if you can make it more financially viable, that's great. And yeah, the people you know, or establishing angel dues. I've heard it called that, or just a membership fund among your chapter where people who are able to donate to that and like sponsor a new member maybe. There are so many ways that you can get around that if that person is just like, I love this so much and I love hanging out with y'all, but I can't afford it. That's really just like, let's just talk with each other and figure it out. Okay, so you've asked everybody, their ideas and opinions in the pulse check, and that's great. And then now, the last thing I want to ask y'all, and then we'll open it up to awesome questions. Even though y'all's questions is giving me life in here, I want more. Please answer in the chat. Do you think what we're doing is important? It's very simple. Absolutely. Yes. Absolutely. Yes. 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 Oh, very. Thank you. Important to whom? Us, our members, guests, anybody. Yes. Yes, friends. It is. And I know that at times the virtual world is going to feel frustrating or like a tease in a way where you can see everybody, but you're not hearing them all the time. You can see everybody, but you can't bother your buddy immediately because you're muted. Like, I know, and it's super frustrating at times. And there are times where you just gotta like feel your feels about it and cry about it a little bit, but keeping the hope among your chapter and reminding them that this is not forever. We don't necessarily know, but for now, as leaders, we are here and we are going to do this for you. And we are making this an outlet for you for now. It's just a pause. This is literally just a pause. And it's not even though. I feel like I get so much done in a virtual rehearsal and so much teaching goes on. So yeah, it's just, like Judy, absolutely. Just, if not for just singing, but socializing and interacting, keeping up those relationships. So it is important. I know you're not gonna think that all the time, but just try to remember that. All right, fam, we are at the Q&A session. And I'm just gonna stop sharing my screen now so I can really see everybody. And now I would love if, so basically go ahead and just do questions into the chat and I'll answer them as we go. Or if anybody feels super compelled that they wanna physically ask it, you're welcome to go off of mute. So have at it, I guess. Yay. Whew, that's a lot of time. I'm gonna take a drink of water while y'all think of a question. Edward, I see Edward is raising his hand physically. Go ahead, Edward, what's up?
Hi, Katie. I just want to thank you for such a great presentation. I think everybody really will benefit from some of the advice you've given us, especially in these hard times.
Yeah.
How positive you were throughout your presentation. There's some great ideas here that we all learn from.
Yeah, good.
I just want to thank you for that. And also for everybody who was on the call, I just want to make sure that everybody realizes all the work that David Patterson has put in to making this online leadership academy a reality here in the Northeastern District.
Yeah.
David has done an absolute fantastic job in his role. So I just want to publicly say that to everybody on the call so they realize this. And I'd like you to go back to your chapters, either virtually or if you couldn't call or something, and say, hey, look it. We have a number of these classes coming up for the next number of weeks. And there's something specific that you can learn from this. Let's get on it. So I just wanted to thank you personally, Katie.
Yeah.
And also publicly thank David for all this hard work.
Well, I'm blushing actually. You can't tell it because of the lighting, but I am blushing a little bit here. Thank you. But such a great turnout. Thank you very much.
Absolutely. Thanks. That was really sweet. Oh my gosh.
I have a couple questions of my own, but
yes.
But regarding some mysterious people on the call here, would you please reveal your true name?
You talking to everybody?
You talking to Stormy? Is that what you asked?
I asked Stormy, what is your true name?
Jill. Joanne.
Jill?
Yep.
Okay. Thank you.
You're
And
welcome.
we have a Fred, not Fred Moore, but we have a singular name, Fred. Who is Fred? Okay. Gonna keep it mysterious, I guess.
Well,
And we
Fred
have-
Moore is here.
Yes,
If
I know
that's what
you
think-
are, but we
Oh,
still
okay.
have an unnamed and unviewed Fred. So I guess they want to remain anonymous. And we have a Marie that's not giving her full name because we just want to keep track of who shows up. Okay, thank you very much. So is that about it, Katie?
Well, I was happy. I'm happy to do questions
Okay,
for however
sure.
long y'all want. I plan to go till 8:15. So if y'all want to do that, or if y'all are over Zoom because of Zoom fatigue, like we talked, I get it. It won't offend me. But yeah, for sure. I see somebody, Dan asked, does BHS have any YouTube data about how many folks from the Northeast are watching videos? Any other specific data? I actually do know this question, or answer, I guess. We do not know that necessarily. The really only thing that we get from YouTube is a subscriber count and a view count. We don't necessarily, it's not like someone watches our video and then we get their email, where they live, how old they are, their name. We don't get any of that because of YouTube protection, like privacy protections. So there's really no way we can necessarily see that kind of data and just kind of know where people are from. But the biggest thing that we can do is see a view count and then ask in certain ways for their email via YouTube, which we actually have been doing that as a project and it's been pretty successful. So that's cool. So, love that's, okay, let's see. Seth asks, our course, Vocal Revolution, has been working on developing competency, among our members on Jamulus, an online tool that allows for near real-time singing. Have you seen groups, quartets, or choruses have success with these kinds of resources? I won't lie, friends, I've heard of a bajillion of these, and I've heard various things. I've heard that they've been awesome. I've heard certain things of like it has to be within X miles. I don't necessarily know the technology on that. And I personally don't choose to kind of like really super look into that necessarily, because I think right now with the virtual setting, that's the most accessible to people. And if someone's like, well, some people aren't on the internet, if they're not on the internet, they're not going to be able to use Jam-Kazam or Jamulus or whatever. So I think we've, as BHS staffers, have really been focusing on what you can do in the virtual world of Zoom and kind of going through that. So I'm so sorry, I don't know too much about it, but you can always reach out. If anybody posts about it on social media, reach out and ask. They are aware they're going to get a bajillion questions. So no recommendations about guest nights, etc., mailings, targeted posters, or is this strictly about membership during pandemic membership drives? That was a lot of ideas, Jeffrey. So I'm not too sure where to start there. You're welcome to use target ads on Facebook maybe, or buy ads. I'm more about, I think personally, I don't know of anybody who's come to Parkside from an ad. I know people that have come to Parkside because of a member referral. And I think it's like 70% of the members of BHS come from somebody telling them about it. So that's why I kind of choose to teach everybody about how to be nice to people and how to invite them and how to kind of be really active in it, because we all have to take that ownership over that, because it's not just Sebi's job to do it. You know, it's not just his job to just go like knocking on people's doors and be like, come on over. So, but yes, this was definitely geared toward virtual recruitment and retention tips, because that's where we are right now. Would you recommend general Facebook ads to the community to join Zoom rehearsals, or just invite people we know? I think you are more likely to get people that you know to come. You are welcome to post it out on your Facebook that you're opening up to a guest night. Actually, if you guys are familiar with Scioto Valley chorus and Sweet Adelines, they just yesterday, and which is why I completely forgot to add it to this presentation, they posted the most beautiful flyer about inviting people to their Zoom rehearsal. It was like an open sing. Oh my gosh. And because it looks absolutely gorgeous, I'm sure they're going to get like a bajillion people. That also probably means, so since you're broadcasting it to Facebook, you're going to get like people like me in Baltimore and they're in Ohio. I'm going to be like, ooh, I love that chorus because they placed, help me out, Sweet Dad's like 5th or 6th last year. They're super good. I want to watch them, you know? So they're going to get a lot of people shadowing for sure, but it may help for the people in the Ohio area, which is super nice. So you're welcome to do that. I'll try to add that presentation. I'm going to add that screenshot of that ad before I send this out to y'all. We use meetup.com. Yes, that's actually one of the places that I have heard success for people that you don't know. So meetup.com is definitely worth looking into. Don't know, I haven't explored it on the virtual world because I kind of focus on people's relationships with people they know, but absolutely, please try that. Like to give Sebi all the jobs. Yes. Which course of the flyer? Yeah, Scioto Valley. They're so good. Does anyone have any questions? I want to ask it like verbally. Gerald, hello. Oh no, I can't hear you. You're unmuted, which is good, but I can't hear you. No, sorry.
We can't hear you, Gerald.
Yeah. It's probably your output or mic setting. Good luck with that. We will come back to you. Anybody else with anyone else with any question that they want to ask in person or in person, verbally? That's totally cool. Yes, Colleen, what's up?
Hello, I'm Colleen from the Grand Rapids chapter of Sweet Adelines. I've heard great things about you.
Yeah.
I just wondered, that was really great to see that list and to see that they're free to ask to come and lead or do a 20-minute session.
Mm-hmm.
What is your thoughts about, because we've been discussing this, whether we have a coach/educator that's giving up their time. Do you think that we should offer to pay?
It's recorded. Yeah. Okay. I would, to be honest, I think the culture, this is my opinion, so no one quote me. I think it is of the culture right now that barbershoppers just want to help barbershoppers. So I really do believe that if you just asked, more than likely they're going to say yes. Now, they may schedule it for a month or two out, maybe, and it won't be like this week, maybe, you know, especially some of the more notable barbershoppers, like I'm doing these things like every 3 days. So so our schedules are, it's in a way more busy than, you know, pre-pandemic. So it may just take a while, but more than likely they're going to be just thrilled that they get to like make a difference with a chapter. So I would say no. I mean, if they respond back with and yes, and if you wouldn't mind, here's my fee, you know, okay, but I don't think that's really in the culture, but that's just my opinion. I don't do it because no, what am I doing? Watching The Office again? I mean, that's great, but like, no, I do this completely, you know, because I love the hobby. So I don't think so. You good, Gerald? Oh, Gerald, type your question in the chat for me and I'll be sure to answer it. Have any other courses that might be open to visitors on your Zoom? Oh, cool. Oh, I love that you have a list of people, Dan. That's cool. I'm gonna bet that really anybody's gonna be open to come visit. And NED, I'm sure David probably, since he you know, knows all of y'all, more than likely there's like a, you know, if you guys want to like pull together and do like, I mean, you're already. First of all, I don't really know of any other district that's doing a fully virtual leadership academy, which is dumb. Everybody should be doing this, but
Probably will in the future.
yeah, for real, because this is just so much more cost effective, and you can live, and everybody, it's so much more accessible, and that's so beautiful about all of this. So
getting back to your thought about who is meeting, there are a lot of different levels of involvement and what people are doing. I know that there's several chapters in Northeastern District that meet strictly for social purposes.
Yep.
They don't really, and they only meet every other week. So they don't do any singing, they don't do any education, they don't do anything for personal improvement or anything like that. But they're still meeting, which is great. But whereas Vocal Revolution, my own course, we are very focused. We have very specific things that we want to get accomplished. And everywhere in between. And the Keene chapter, I understand, is meeting every other week in person in an empty downtown parking garage in Keene, New Hampshire. So observing the correct social distancing. So there's all kinds of different things going on, but I don't know of any clearinghouse or any specific place to see where all of the different chapters are and what they're up to.
Yeah, because it changes by the literal week, by the minute. So that's kind of, I would say it's probably impossible to kind of know. And also people are trying new things for the first time, and while we can't necessarily recommend that people, we will not ever recommend that people get together until the CDC says so. We will, you're just kind of gonna have to ask around. And I mean, NED, y'all are a district that is just so famous for just being absolutely wonderful with literally the best leadership academy ever. So I don't think you guys will ever have a problem with like interpersonal communication among all of you to kind of like find out what's going on and what you can do to learn from each other. And you know what, that chapter that David was talking about that meets every other week as a social thing, if that's what works for them, awesome. Because that's the point of Barbershop. That is the point of Barbershop, where it's like, we're not doing this for, we're not necessarily doing this for like professional, paid, whatever. We're doing this for fun, right? So that's like beautiful, absolutely beautiful. So, I love it. I love it. What other questions do we got? Friends, we got 2 minutes left, and then y'all should just go on a beautiful walk. Is it so light out? Yes, it's so light out here in Baltimore.
Well, let me finish up with just a couple things that I want to let everyone here know. There will be a survey coming out tomorrow to all of the people that attended. That's one reason why I needed your names, because I can't tell by looking at this what your email address is. I have that, but I don't know from looking at the names on the screen how to interpret emails from that. And also that I'm going to be saving the chat to my home computer. You can do it yourself, I believe, but just to have that. And Katie's going to send her slide presentation to me, and then I will send that out to everyone that attended. I was a little disappointed that we had 14 or 15 people that could not be here tonight. I'm a little concerned, but I'm really happy with the 64 or 65 that showed up. It was just spectacular, and thank you for great results. Next week, we have a class being taught by a lady who's on the call, Bev Green. She's going to be doing a new class called Influencing Chapter Culture. It's something that she and I kind of brainstormed in our early conversations, and she's putting together a class, and it's very interesting, talking about the distinction between chapter and chorus. It's going to be an interesting class. I hope everybody can make it. So anything else beyond that? I want to thank you again very much, everyone. Did a great job. Thank you, Katie. It was a delight to have you on board. I think everybody gained a lot, and I'm going to resist the temptation to unmute everyone and have us all sing "Keep the Whole World Singing," because when Vocal Revolution does that, it sounds like a bunch of cats that just can't get out of the way of a car. I don't know. But
Really good. That's exactly it. Yeah.
so thank you, everyone. Have a pleasant evening. And again, we'll be sending a survey out for you. And thank you again. It was a delight. And thank you, Katie, again.
Of course.
It was
Thank you,
wonderful.
everybody. Thanks for having me. Have a good day. Bye.
Night.
Good night.
Thank you. Good night.
Thank you. You're on a good ship, Mr. Patterson. Great job.
Oh.
And Mrs. Patterson.
Yeah, she had something else to do, so she's up to her neck in barbershop as well with Harmony Incorporated.
Oh, awesome. Oh.
Yeah, she's currently in the BHS judging program as a candidate. So she's a 30-year judge in Harmony Incorporated. So
Same thing. Great. Good.
yeah. But
Which category?
performance category.
Heck
She's
yeah.
been certified in Harmony Incorporated for like over 30 years. So it's,
Okay.
but it's great.
And
to
here
have,
I am telling people how to recruit, and I've been here like 7, but it's fine. It's fine. I'm legit too.
Thank God, David.
Yes, of course. Oh my, was I the first one?
Yes.
I'm really glad I didn't realize that.
Oh,
I
hi,
was
Val.
scared the crap out of me.
You never said that.
No, I'm glad you said it at the end. That's cool. It's fine. Ooh.
Thank you once again, Katie.
Mhm.
Great. David, again, great job. This is perfect.
My pleasure.
If the classes go as well as this, I think it's a huge success for the district.
Well, we've done our homework, and I think we have everything pretty well under control. Our numbers are up, although I'm disappointed that 14 or so people didn't show up tonight. But
Oh, David, hey, real quick, don't beat yourself up about that. In the
I'm
virtual world,
not.
Things
in the
change.
virtual world, if 70 people show up and 55 actually come, that's huge.
Yeah.
So don't worry about it.
Oh, here she comes. She's back on. There you go. Say hi.
Hello,
Hi.
you're an angel and perfect. Thank you for
Thanks.
being great.
Good night, everybody.
Good. We still don't know who Marie is. Who's we can't see who it is. Marie, can you reveal your true identity?
Tell her to unmute herself and say her name.
Unmute yourself and it's Marie
Marie.
Maydew. We have you on the list. Okay, thank you. And the
Yay.
mysterious Fred. It's not Fred Moore.
Who's that? Fred McGregor.
Fred McGregor.
I love that you're like cataloging who came. That's really great. All right, David, I'm going to add the thing from Scioto Valley and put that in, and then I'll email you the slides like
Great. I'm going to stop the
Soonish.
recording now, and
okay, in the next like 10 minutes or so.
we'll get the recording up for people to look at if they need to.
That's
There we go.
awesome. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Y'all are great. I'm going to head out.
Yes.
Yeah.